Did you know that one of the leading global killers of children is also the top killer of journalists? Hi, my name is Suri Crowe, and you're watching the MeidasTouch Network. Well, the answer is Israel. That's right. Israel is a leading cause of death for children around the world. UNICEF estimates it's far more than 50,000 children killed and wounded in Israel's crimes against humanity in Gaza and now many other places. And it's estimated that Israel has killed more than 250 journalists simply for doing their jobs and for exposing Israel's war crimes. Israel is a genocidal state. Its government targets children and innocent civilians and journalists intentionally. Exhibit A.
Further rocket attacks were reported against Nahariya and a military. Fucking hell.
That is British journalist Steve Sweeney. Thank God he survived by a hair, as you could see. And you could just feel the ground reverberate. He actually was injured, went to hospital there in Lebanon. The wonderful Lebanese healthcare providers, the doctors and nurses took care of him while they're being bombed by Israel right now. And, removed a huge piece of shrapnel. So very fortunate that he made out of that situation along with his photographer. But by the way, that was no accident. And Steve Sweeney says it was not an accident either. The Israelis specifically targeted him. That was a fighter jet that dropped a bomb intended to kill him. And in fact, the IDF brags about its precision bombing techniques. The Israeli government is able to pinpoint targets to the person. They can find people, and they brag about it. I mean, they've got very advanced military technology, and they've done this throughout Gaza, Iran, and now Lebanon. So when they say, oh, it was a mistake that we bombed a hospital in Gaza, we didn't mean to kill all those children. It was Hamas. That's just a lie from the pit of hell. They knew exactly what they were doing. Here's another example.
I'm reporting to you now from occupied South Lebanon in the town of Kfar Kela, which, as you can see, has been largely destroyed by the Israeli army. And for my Western followers, I really want you to take a look around at everything here, and I want you to imagine your own childhood memories, your own neighborhood, your schools, your hospitals, your libraries, your playgrounds. Everything that you know and that you love wiped out in a matter of months. This is what ethnic cleansing looks like.
And in the same way that the IDF is intentionally killing entire bloodlines in Gaza, they are now doing so in Lebanon, as you can see in that clip. And the United States is helping them do it with hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars to assist in genocide, in the murder of children and innocent civilians. We as Americans have been gaslit into thinking that Israel, that they're the good guys, and right now, Bibi Netanyahu, whose rumors were apparently of his death were greatly exaggerated because he's apparently still like a cockroach, he's still alive, has dog-walked dumbass Trump into this horrific war that is not going to be a short-term military excursion. Bibi Netanyahu had no intention of let's just make this a quick trip, but Trump is so stupid and so corrupt that he fell for it. I mean, God knows what kind of compromise the Israeli government has on Trump. And so here's Netanyahu encouraging more violence, not less.
That, unfortunately and unhappily, Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan. Because if you are strong enough, ruthless enough, powerful enough, evil will overcome good. Aggression will overcome moderation. So you have no choice. If you look at the world as it is today, you have to be blind not to see that the democracies led by the United States have to reassert their will to defend themselves and to oppose their enemies in time while there's still time, before the jarring gong of danger wakes them up and wakes them up too late.
Ah, yes, Israel and America, the good guys, the democracies. What a crock of shit. Let me tell you what the Israelis are up to. First of all, did you know that Israel is a full-on apartheid state? That's right. If you are not a Zionist, light-skinned, colored Zionist, you are not allowed to come into any part of Israel in the same area where Zionist Jews are. You can't do it. You have to go in through a different entrance. It's apartheid, just like Jim Crow South, just like South Africa. But you don't hear anyone in the Western media reporting on that, do you? No, of course not, because why? It's owned by Zionists. It's true. The Israeli society is built on white supremacy of Zionist Jews who literally do not think that anyone who is not a Zionist or who doesn't have white skin is worthy of being alive. And this is why they treat the Palestinians like shit, like vermin, to quote Hitler. The irony. It is true, though. The IDF routinely tortures Palestinian prisoners who are not all Hamas. In fact, 85% of the prisoners that the Israeli government sweeps up are not Hamas. They're innocent Palestinians that are just being captured by Israeli forces. It's just a catch-all that they use for anyone whom they decide, the Israeli government whom they decide is not worthy of life. Trigger warning for the clip I'm about to show you. It's short, but it is quite graphic.
Israeli soldiers torturing Palestinians to death by putting metal rods up their anuses. This is Sede Temen, an Israeli military base in southern Israel that, based on survival testimonies, has been acting as a torture and interrogation camp. A 41-year-old detainee said that interrogators, quote, made me sit on something like a hot metal stick that felt like fire, end quote, and testified that other detainees, quote, died after they put an electric stick up his anus. Another survivor, Mr. Al-Hamlawi, has said that an officer ordered two soldiers to lift him up and press his rectum against a fixed metal stick.
The clip goes on, but I did not want to show the rest of it because it's horrific. And in fact, I have seen many actual videos of the IDF torturing Palestinians. And I just became physically sick watching. I couldn't watch. I couldn't. But the fact remains that it's on video. It's on tape. This is not a secret for anyone who wants to find out. You can see what the Israeli government is doing. They kill people who are, as we've seen in Gaza, who are food convoys trying to bring food aid. They have wiped out people bringing, first aid, like emergency responders. I recently just saw a video of it was just so horrible. They just will take out anybody who's going to assist Gaza because they, and I guess Jared Kushner, want to make it into oceanfront property. It makes me sick to my stomach. Recently, 5 IDF soldiers who had been charged with anally raping a Palestinian man with a knife, that's right, had all charges against them dropped by the government. And yes, there was a video of them doing this. And the video was leaked by none other than the top Israeli military lawyer at the time, a woman by the name of General Yifat Tomer Yerushalmi. Here's how it went down. Yerushalmi was forced out of her job, and now she faces charges from the Israeli government because she leaked a video of Israeli defense forces committing war crimes, committing crimes against humanity. But here's how Israeli citizens treated those 5 Israeli guards after the charges were just dismissed. Treated like heroes. There's a video of them being kissed by people in the streets. My God. And this woman was trying to do the right thing. Now she's likely going to prison for standing up to just horrific crimes against humanity. And you know what? Does this sound familiar to you? Because it sure does to me. Is this ringing a bell for what we're going through right now here in the United States? Israel calls itself the only real democracy in the Middle East. That is such a lie. It is a fascist, autocratic regime. That is not how democracies operate. And we're dealing with the same thing right here in America. So no wonder Bibi and Trump are such buddies. The only thing is that Bibi is far smarter than Donald Trump. It's just, that's not a democratic nation at work. There's so much more I can show you, but that's the society there. That's what it's based on. And Bibi Netanyahu, yes, he is pure evil, but many certainly not all, Israeli people support his policies. How do you think he has been in power for 40 years? Okay, not by accident. And here we are in America supporting this. The Israeli citizens have free housing, free healthcare, free education. And we, American taxpayers who can't have, affordable groceries, we don't have healthcare anymore, many of us. We can't pay for gas. I mean, just name it. We are sending Israel billions of dollars while they're living high off the hog. Are you effing kidding me? What are we doing? What are we doing? This is so gross. And now we are enmeshed in genocide with them. Look at these faces. Look at these children. We paid Israel to take their innocent lives. But in fact, the word Israel is quickly becoming a dirty word as we head into the midterms, because Americans are starting to wake up to what has been a parasitic relationship with Israel for decades. Israel sucks off us and sucks us for blood. And I think Netanyahu even made a statement to that effect at one point. And so now you're seeing more politicians in the primaries that were just run in Illinois and several other places in Florida. I've actually been interviewing and talking to a lot of these folks on my Substack. They're like, nothing to do with AIPAC. We're staying away from Israel. No, we don't want to be involved with this. And even politicians who have been in bed with the pro-Israel lobby, AIPAC, people like Pennsylvania's Chris DeLuzio, who had accepted over $1 million of AIPAC funds, now says he's going AIPAC free. So he sees the writing on the wall. The tricky thing, and I think I've reported on this before here, is that AIPAC, or the pro-Israel lobby, is very good at hiding their money under things like democracy change or, so I did a report for Meidas not too long ago. So we have to really stay on top of that and make sure they're not just laundering their money through different exchanges. And Senator Bernie Sanders, who is Jewish, by the way, I don't know if he practices. I've heard he's agnostic, has introduced legislation that will block the Senate from approving 22,000 new bombs to send to Israel. Yeah, that's in addition to the $200 billion that the Pentagon, that Pete Hegseth and Stephen Miller really are asking, on top of the $1 trillion that they already have. Like, do you see the insanity? People in America, we don't have enough to eat. We can't pay. We don't have housing. We don't have health care. But we're sending trillions of dollars to Israel, which has all those things. Like, hello, we're being used. So gross. I'm not confident that legislation is going to pass because, unfortunately, too many people in Congress on the Democratic side, obviously Republicans are all in for fascism, are still in bed with Israel. And they need to get out. They need to get out of bed with Israel. And we need to remind them all the time. I call my senators, Mark Warner and Tim Kaine's office, at least 3 to 4 times a week as a constituent. I'm like, hello, stop taking AIPAC money. Lastly, in the words of the Voice of Rabbis, which is an anti-Zionist group, I guess, I don't know if they're all rabbis or not, but they posted this just recently. They're talking about Randy Fine, who is a full-blown Zionist zealot and just a horrible person, a horrible human being. He has no regard for life if they are not a white Zionist Jew. Let me just tell you. And here's what they posted as he's complaining about, quote, anti-Semitism. Randy Fine warns Europe over rising anti-Semitism and threatens consequences. But Voice of Rabbis says, real anti-Semitism must be taken seriously, but criticizing Israel is not anti-Semitism. Israel is not a Jewish state. Zionism is not Judaism. Amen and underscore to that. I would encourage you to learn more about the formation of Israel as a nation, because the history is not aligned with true Judaism. There's a lot there. I'm trying to educate myself more on it. And I'm having the shields that were drawn over my eyes because I was raised in, the evangelical Christian nationalist Zionist world too. So I'm seeing things very differently. And, true Judaism is a religion of peace. It's not a nationalist political party bent on hegemony, bent on dominating everything and everyone in the same way that we're seeing the white Christian nationalists do over here in America. And they go hand in glove together. The Zionists and the Christian nationalists, because they're all about domination. They're not about doing anything good or kind or peace-loving. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Please follow my socials. They're always attached below. Love to see you. Follow me on Instagram, on Substack, where I'm doing a lot of really interesting conversations, in my brand new YouTube channel. And I'm on Blue Sky. I'm an X, but really, X is a sewer. So thanks so much. And I'll see you back here soon. And in the spirit of the Jewish religion, which is a religion of peace, I wish all of you peace, shalom, peace to you.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.